I would think a creditor would probably avoid, unless they were just kind of foolish, giving their name, or if they were trying to give out a phone number to get a contact from someone, it probably would be a phone they hadn't given the authorities, likewise the email address. So I'm thinking, this is kind of a longer term question. Any thoughts about a way to track, I don't know if it's the local URL, but how do you really track these people, or a way for local authorities to sort of examine these people's activity online, and what email addresses are they using? And I mean, I'm just trying to think how you would keep up with it.
There is this new capability does not change the fact that some sex offenders may lie about information that they put there. What we can tell you is how many sex offenders we know of are out of compliance today. And that's very easy to determine if they have not, based on whatever their crime was, if they've not registered, re-registered within the time period. So, we have in the past, in the Attorney General's office, as you know, made that information available. We've had posted the names and pictures of sex offenders who were out of compliance. Many times that has resulted in citizens contacting us, or police departments contacting us about that person, so that we can deal with them, the local police can deal with them as far as being out of compliance. So it's not a foolproof tool, but the sex offender is required to register, and they are required to provide this information. And when they do, that information is in this database. But obviously, any database is only as good as the accuracy of the information that goes into it.
Sure. Any data from the 7 other states about kind of how much success people had in actually getting hits?
Yeah, I don't have that. Does anybody have that? It's just it is simply one more tool, and it's a tool for citizens of the state who want to utilize that tool. And I think I would again emphasize the thing we've said several times before, that a contact by a sex offender with an adult may appear to be harmless, but many times these sex offenders use that contact with the mother, for example, of children, so that they can get at the children. Our unit, working with local law enforcement, has been able to go after a number of sex offenders. One of the things that we have found is that when we go online and look at this file sharing of child pornography, and then we work with the local police department, the local sheriff's office, for that individual to be apprehended. When we get in there, the sheriff gets in there, and our people get in there, there certainly are times when we find that not only is that person sitting in their basement file sharing child pornography, but they also are actively molesting children. And in the past year, we have examples of that, of cases where we've been able to find. So this is just one part of an effort for the public to be able to know more information about registered sex offenders.
With the system in other states and a large amount of online activity, not just confined to Ohio.
I missed the first part. What's the what?
So with this system in 7 other states and online activity not really restricted just to Ohio, is there a way that this can talk with the systems in other states, so that, let's say, an Ohio child is talking to somebody in one of those other states, you can sort of communicate and see if it's a sex offender?
Well, we certainly have the ability to any state that's got an online program. Now, there's more than, how many states have an online program?
13 are actually using Offender Watch at this point. 13.
Okay, that is a proprietary
Yes, sir.
program.
Every state has a sex offender registry.
Okay, every state has a sex offender registry. How many of them have something that can be searched by private citizens? Do we know that?
That's not all 50, but I don't know the number.
We can get that for you.
Okay, is there any?
And what you normally would do is, if law enforcement is investigating, they're gonna contact their counterparts in that particular state to get information about that person.
Right, so, but there's no, right now, if, you know, your child is talking to somebody from out of state and you put in their name, they're obviously not an Ohio sex offender, but they could be a sex offender elsewhere, there's no way to kind of track that to
No,
a
not
email address?
not unless that particular state has this feature.
Okay, but it can talk to other states?
Well, if you knew how to go, you'd have, let's say it's
Okay.
state X, you would have to know how to access state X's system.
I see.
So, I mean, this one wouldn't flip over, would it? This doesn't flip over.
You have to go to the individual state.
Yeah, you'd have to go to the individual state.
All right, is there any thought to streamlining that capability in the future?
Well, I think that's always an objective. It's the difficulty is that different states, you know, contract with different companies, and for those companies, get that worked out is not necessarily evil, not necessarily easy. But I agree. It certainly is something that would be an objective. We'd like to see more of in law enforcement in general. Yeah.